Ready for the King of the Ice? Pete's Power Plays with Philly Pete starts now on 12 Ounce Sports.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the October 20th, 2020 episode of Pete's Power Plays, hosted by the one, the only King of the Ice himself, Philly Pete, and we are live on 12 Ounce Sports and Zingo TV, channel 761. I hope everyone had a phenomenal weekend. Back to the basics, back to the grind, back to the weekly grind of Pete's Power Plays, of course. I'm sure all you guys missed me, and ladies out there missed me. We're back. It's Tuesday. I'm live on the air. Again, like always, and man, what can I say? One hell of a weekend, and even better Sunday. It's phenomenal. Great week, great weekend ahead. My wife and I are celebrating our 1-year anniversary on the 26th. So a week from yesterday, we have, our 1 year. So I can't be happy. We have a baby on the way. I can't be any more ecstatic, and life's great. Life is great, and life gives us a bunch of challenges, and we eventually kick the shit out of it, basically. To be completely honest. And that's what happens. We're strong people, and, this whole year has been a lackluster. 2020 has been absolute crap, and, it's, man, can anyone wait for 2021? Because I can't wait. I'm just hoping it's a little bit better than 2020. I think we all could hope that. So, I mean, you think about it now, we're less than 3 months away from 2021, and, man, it's been a whole lackluster of a year, and, here we are. So we're back. Tuesday, October 20th, 2020. Once again, this show, Pete's Power Plays, is sponsored by the one, the only, mybookie.ag. Sports are all over the place right now. We know that. We're back in action. You have the MLB World Series now. You have the Tampa Bay Rays against the Los Angeles Dodgers. And who knows? I mean, this is the 3 out of the 4 times now that Dodgers have been in the World Series. They choked on all of them. So maybe this is the time that the Dodgers get over that hump finally for once and take advantage and win the World Series. I don't know. The Rays are playing great ball as well, so we will see what happens. Unfortunately, my Atlanta Braves ticket at 12-1 in the beginning of the season did not cash out. They choked. They were up 3-1. You can't do that. But hey, the Dodgers, kudos. It's time. It's time for them to lift the trophy for once, and we'll see what happens. So MLB playoffs back in the World Series now. It's in full force. We have college football that's in full force. We have the NFL season in full force. We have soccer in full force right now. You have Champions League today. Those that are soccer junkies like myself, I have a couple of wagers on tap. Speaking of, I like Juventus money line. I like Chelsea in the over. And, what can I say? We're good to go. Paris Saint-Germain as well. If you want to do a little 3-team crazy parlay that I have, I rarely cap soccer. I don't do it at all. This is based on the Champions League, so I'm a really huge Champions League fan. I'm a Juventus fan. I've been a Juventus fan my whole life. My grandfather grew up in Marzi, Italy, and that's basically the home. Basically, the whole town was Juventus fans, and he grew up watching Juve. So I'm following my grandfather's steps, my father's footsteps as well, and I grew up liking Juve. So PSG money line, Juve money line, and Chelsea over 2.5. So there you go. It's a 3-team parlay for you. We'll see what happens. If it cashes, it cashes. If not, I will talk about it tomorrow and tell you guys how I won't be capping soccer anymore. But this is just a once in a time thing for me. I'm not a soccer guy, but once again, before I get off topic here, mybookie.ag. Use the promo code 12ounce sports. That's 12OZ sports. All one word, all caps, no spaces. Punch that bad boy in, and they will match your first deposit up to $1,000. Once again, mybookie.ag, promo code 12ounce sports, and they'll match your first deposit up to $1,000. Also, Zingo TV, channel 761. I hope everyone out there is tuning in. Welcome aboard. Tuesday, October 20th. Man, we are flying by this month right now, let alone the whole year, thank God. But this month's been flying. So Zingo TV, channel 761. Those that don't have Zingo TV, make sure you download the app on your smart TV, your Roku, your Apple TV, your Amazon Fire Stick, whatever it may be. But when you first do so, make sure you put in the promo code. You have to make it an account on Zingo TV. Make sure you use the promo code 12ounce, 12OZ. You'll be good to go. And from there, you'll be streaming live all of our phenomenal shows on 12 Ounce Sports, including yours truly, Pete's Power Play. So once again, Zingo TV, channel 761. Tune in right now. So, ladies and gentlemen out there, welcome aboard. I'm pumped to be back on the air. And what can I say? One hell of a weekend. Sunday. Before I get into the action, I want to talk to you. Let's just let you guys know about what happened over the weekend in terms of daily fantasy lineups for the NFL. I mean, clients, man. Like, I'm sorry, but Sunday we were close. Deshaun Watson had a hell of a game. This is the free Sunday daily fantasy lineup that I gave everyone out there. Deshaun Watson went off for you guys. I think we just missed this lineup by a hair. It was probably in the 77, 78 percentile. We were just short of cashing some money, a couple of dollars. But Deshaun Watson went off. Myles Gaskin had a good game. The Minnesota Vikings, man, I'll tell you, the Alexander Madison was supposed to be the highlight of that game. He didn't do anything. Will Fuller had a touchdown. He had a great game because of Deshaun Watson. Devontae had about 9-10 points. Claypool did okay. Mark Andrews, he had a touchdown. Montgomery was okay. And, of course, the Dolphins' defense had a really, really good game themselves. But, unfortunately, we were just short of cashing out for that free DFS lineup they give to you guys on Sundays. But the clients, I have to brag about it because I am the best when it comes to daily fantasy lineups. 97 percentile, ladies and gentlemen out there. I mean, who better? I mean, that's what it's all about. Cashing in, top 97 percentile. This is the highest week in percentile that we had all season on FanDuel, let alone in DraftKings as well. Now, we've been placing all week. We've been placing all season so far, except for week 3, where we were just under the 80 percentile mark. We were at 75 percentile, but that's okay. Week 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, and even, and now we're going to continue this weekend as well into week 7. But listen, 5 out of the 6 in the top 90 percentile, couple 80s. I mean, come on. This is just phenomenal. Everyone's making good money. Clients are cashing out large, getting numerous DMs about, just basically, the appreciation and support they've given me time in, time out about fantasy, and they're cashing out. No complaints. Getting new clients by the day. This is phenomenal news. Again, they see it. Everyone sees it. They sign up. They cash out with the best. Simple as that. So there you have it. Clients, 97 percentile. Now, last night's Monday Night Football daily fantasy. Andy Dalton was absolute trash. Cowboys still suck, and what can I say? At the end of the day here, I think an NFC team, the NFC East, whoever they are, with a 6-10, maybe even a 5-11 record, will win the NFC East. But just the way that I saw last night, Dallas is in a big, big load of trouble. And with a stacked offensive line like that, or let alone the offensive weapons they have, yeah, no thanks. Andy Dalton leading the way. This is a tryout for him to stay on Dallas going into the next season. Dak is the future. Keep it, Dak. Okay, unfortunately, he's out for the year. Andy Dalton, bringing your veteran, what you have as a veteran quarterback, and unfortunately, it's not working at all. So, again, every team in the NFC East, and listen, don't blame Carson Wentz for the season that he's having. I mean, I think 99.99999% of you know the outcome of the Eagles and how injured we are. So, seriously, this NFC East is up for grabs. You have the Washington football team 1-5, the New York football Giants 1-5, the Philadelphia Eagles, who are half a game out of first place, 1-4-1, and the dreaded Dallas Cowboys at 2-4, who should be 0-6, maybe 1-5 if the Atlanta Falcons didn't choke on that game. So the Dallas Cowboys are lucky to be in the position they are right now in the NFC East. And what can I say? I mean, this is just a brutal division. Again, I think someone with the record of 5-11, 6-10 will win that division and probably win their wild card game, and then getting smoked in the divisional round game the game after. So there you have it. But we'll see what happens. This lineup just was okay. I mean, it's the best that I had it. I thought it was stacked. Of course, minus Andy Dalton, but he had Clyde Edwards-Helaire, he had Zeke Elliott, Stephon Diggs, Mecole Hardman, Michael Gallup, Travis Kelce, who blew up, Kenyon Drake, who blew up, Clyde Edwards blew up, but the Cowboys were absolute garbage. So Diggs had a touchdown. Hardman didn't do anything. Gallup, of course, didn't do anything because, once again, Andy Dalton is just out of his prime right now. So, hey, whatever. You move on. I was just feeling generous for you guys. But anyway, that's daily fantasy life right there, 101. But it doesn't change the fact that clients are cashing in large with me this season so far, minus 1 week. Doesn't matter. I give you 4 lineups between Thursday night football, Sunday night football, Sunday night football, and Monday night football. Everything is cashing out large. No complaints ever. Again, numerous DMs through in and out of the day regarding my lineups and how much cash. Listen, I got a DM yesterday. I'm sorry I'm getting off topic with DFS, but let alone clients, or I had 2 clients reach out to me in the course of the last about 2 weeks, and they both reached out to me saying they have enough money to go on a vacation with him and his wife. So they're leaving the kids at home. They're going on a vacation, and it's phenomenal. It's great news that myself can give out all these great plays, these great lineups, not only for hockey, but lineups for daily fantasy, and seeing clients of mine going on, $10,000, $20,000 vacations with their wives in Italy or the Bahamas or Greece or whatever it may be overseas. I'm glad I could be that guy for you. So we're going to continue cashing for each and one of you out there that are part of VIPs. So enough of that, and let's go on. So Mr. Doc Emmerich, Mike Emmerich himself, man, he was, it sucks. I get it. He's 75, 76 years old. It's time, man. It's time. He is the voice and will forever be the best voice of hockey. To my nature, growing up watching hockey, you had broadcasters left and right, but when Doc Emmerich came into the NHL, and when I grew up and watching him, going on NBC, and even he was broadcasting some Flyers games too back in the day. You have to remember that. I wasn't around to hear that, but my dad and my father-in-law and all of my uncles that are hardcore Flyers fans, they know that Doc broadcasted some Flyers games back in the day. We all know that, and that's another reason why he's such a great icon, not only for hockey but for every player and every team too. He called every great game, the U.S. game as well. He did it all, and for him to retire, kudos, hats off, whatever it may be. Bow down to the king himself, Doc Emmerich, and man, he is retiring as of yesterday, and it's tough to handle retirements. Okay, we all know that. No, he never did it before. No one ever does it before. Okay, besides Michael Jordan. So, but the point is, the pandemic is hitting so bad to everybody that it's tough, and you see older people and their lives, and the hell, their immune system shut down at some point when they get older, and it's time to take care of yourselves. Now, Mike Emmerich is 74 years old. We know that he's been the by far predominant voice for NHL games on NBC and NBC Sports for the last 15 years. Okay, and then after the Flyers, he was the play-by-play announcer for the New Jersey Devils. So he has been everywhere in the East Coast, okay? And let alone right in the backyard of where I live. So it's just phenomenal. 22 Stanley Cup Finals, 8 Sports Emmy Awards for play-by-play, including 7 straight, 2014 and 2020. He stints at ESPN, ABC, Fox, CBS, and even 6 Olympic Winter Games. Now, in 2008, he was inducted to the Hockey Hall of Fame. He also had the Foster Hewitt Memorial Award for outstanding contributions to hockey broadcasting. And in 2011, he was the first announcer inducted into the U.S. Hockey Hall of Fame. It's phenomenal what this guy has done. And it seemed like it was time to step away from full-time broadcasting to enjoy more time with his family while in his mid-70s. It makes a lot of sense. He's 100% of his proceeds from a book about his life and career coming out Tuesday will go to hands-on care of animals. So this should be a phenomenal book. It gives everyone a clear view of his life, his broadcasting, his whole entire career as an NHL broadcaster. And man, he's just, he's a reason why I watch NHL and NBC, whether or not the Flyers are playing at 12 o'clock or 1 o'clock on a Saturday or Sunday afternoon. But the fact that his unique and his passionate voice that I'll always remember, it's just going crazy. I can't even do it half as good as him at all. No one can do it. But he is just a passionate announcer. He gives it all every game. No matter if he's under the weather, no matter what, he is doing it. And he was doing his last season at home. It's upsetting. It's a shame this pandemic had it did not ruin sports because it came back. I mean, it did because of the fans. But the fact that he himself had to stay at home and broadcast because of his age, at his home, he did a hell of a job. He kicked ass, and man, it sounded like he was there. It sounded like he was broadcasting there. And what can I say? Kudos and best of luck to your future, Mike Doc Emmerich. We love you. We will miss you. And man, this is why I had all the NHLs for my PlayStation 4. All because of his voice. And now this one I get. 2021 is okay. I haven't gotten it yet, but the fact that Doc's voice is not in that game makes me not want to buy it. Simple as that. But no matter what it takes, rain, snow, sleet, hail, damn, even a freaking tornado could be rolling by into one of these games, and he'll still be producing that unique voice that he's always had and contributed, not only for teams and players and coaches and staff and NBC, but for the fans like myself. We always will acknowledge and respect the fact that Doc Emmerich was the best NHL broadcaster of all time, and he forever will be. So hats off for you, and the handshake line starts now. So Mike Emmerich, best of luck to you in the future. Now, moving on real quick, but first and foremost, the Tuesday. I'm back, ladies and gentlemen. I am back. I am back for the next couple days here for you guys. Make sure you guys are tuning in to the Tuesday, October 20th, 2020 episode of Pete's Power Plays, hosted by the one, the only king of the ice himself, Philly Pete. And we are live on 12 Ounce Sports and Zingo TV, channel 761. This show, Pete's Power Plays, as always, is sponsored by MyBookie.ag. Once again, MyBookie.ag. Make sure when you set up an account for MyBookie, use the promo code 12 Ounce Sports. 12OZ Sports, all one word, all caps, no spaces. Again, 12 Ounce Sports when you sign up to MyBookie.ag. Sports are back, ladies and gentlemen. And what better way to start cashing large and making those pockets even bigger than cashing out with MyBookie.ag. Once again, 12 Ounce Sports, the promo code, all caps, and they'll match your first deposit up to $1,000. Zingo TV, channel 761, ladies and gentlemen that are tuning in to this Tuesday episode of my show, welcome aboard. But Zingo TV, channel 761, those that don't have it, make sure you download the app on your Roku and your Fire Stick on Apple TV, whatever it may be. Use the promo code 12 Ounce, okay, when you're setting up an account for Zingo TV. And from there, you'll be streaming live, not only my phenomenal show, but everybody else's phenomenal show that we have on 12 Ounce Sports. Once again, Zingo TV, Zingo, channel 761. Tune in right now, and you'll hear my lovely, lovely voice, as I always say. But back into the action now. Is your team, all right, so is your NHL team panicking right now about the free agency in 2020? Has your team not cashed out yet? Has your team cashed out? Should you panic? Should you not panic? Well, listen, I'll tell you all about it right now. If your team hasn't made any major moves so far, is it a cause for concern? But then you got to think about it now. It depends on what the team's goals are. Okay, you have to think about that. Just because your team didn't, just because Mike Hoffman's still out there, he hasn't signed yet, and everyone's freaking out. Relax. You sold Dadonov. Oh man, why didn't he go somewhere? He went to the Senators of all teams. Well, listen, that's a team's goal. They got who they wanted. Simple as that. Teams are like that. You got to be aggressive sometimes in the offseason. You really do. So when it comes down to this, some teams still have, most teams have made their biggest offseason decisions already. Clearly, all of last week and a half, we saw that. Free agency is not over. We still got pretty good players out there still available. But it's also not too early to put the quietest teams under the microscope for a little bit. And while they're sluggish, you can look at their peers and be like, man, they're looking pretty good at this point. So is it a cause for concern or not? Real quick, don't panic right now. LA Kings and Tampa Bay Lightning, my two teams right there. Don't panic yet. All right, Rob Blake. After basically Joe Sakic here biding his time for his first several seasons as Avalanche GM, staying conservative and basically going at the top end prospects. Okay, we saw that. Rob Blake. And we saw him draft the number 2 overall kid, Byfield. Simple as that. So we're good there. Okay, we're good. But he finally became aggressive last summer when his team improved enough to become a contender. It did not, though. He has done very little with his NHL roster so far this offseason, and that's okay. He had the number two pick, He got Byfield. Just revolve the team around him. It's all good. You still have your other players. But, and like I said, it's already a win, considering you had, again, the number 2 overall pick. It's already a win. Quentin Byfield, he was picked in your draft. And once he does make the team, which I believe he will, obviously, whether it's this, I really truly think he's going to be starting, in the 2021, in this upcoming season. He'll begin, an apprenticeship, basically, with basically the other key component to that team, and of course it's Anze Kapitar. Simple as that. So these veterans for the Kings will help this Byfield kid, and man, just be ready. Like, the Kings could be under the radar pretty sneaky this season. But again, we'll see what happens. Now, as for the defending Cup champs, the Tampa Bay, or the defending Stanley Cup champion Bolts, resources have to be pulled for Anthony Cirelli and Sergachev. So it's no surprise that GM himself, Bryce Boy, hasn't been chasing any noteworthy additions yet. He also let a couple he also let a lot of people go as well. Shattenkirk's gone, Bogosian is gone, but again, it's okay. This team is still stacked. All right, Tyler Johnson's likely on his way out, maybe even Stamkos. But again, this team is loaded. Okay, they can have the money. They can find money for Cirelli and Sergachev, even if it means trading away, whatever it may be, to even look at a potential Elite Cup contender for this upcoming season. The core remains deep, balanced, and it's talented. It really is, as any other team right now. It really is. Now, if the GM could only pony up a little bit and bite on Tyler Johnson, obviously the waiver experiment failed, but could Tyler Johnson stay in Tampa? Absolutely. I believe I mentioned this again on my show about a couple weeks ago that my wild card is that Patrick Laine stays in Winnipeg and Tyler Johnson stays in Tampa. Simple as that. I really truly believe so, and you got to think about that. A lot of rumblings about him going to San Jose. But it's at the end of the day here. I think Tampa sticks with Tyler Johnson here and see what happens in the future. Try to remain calm, but don't have too much anxiety yet. But the Coyotes, Bruins, Hurricanes, and the Dallas Stars. Okay, Coyotes were a nice story during the bubble tournament. They were looking good. They shocked the Nashville Predators. Okay, it's crazy, and of course the goaltending was great. Darcy Kemper had a great postseason. Don't get me wrong. Now, Tyler Hall's gone, all right, to the Sabres. We know that. And, who's out there to get, okay? The team is trending that way, and it's just that the Coyotes had the 22nd best record in the NHL before they lost Hall. So is it a cause for panic? Sure. But if you believe this 2020 run meant something, you're an absolute fool. They went to the playoffs and they won their first round. Simple as that. The Bruins added Craig Smith, one of the offseason's best signings so far for Boston. Okay, Don Sweeney sat on his hands. We know that it was there. Of course, Torrey Krug is gone, and like I said before, I'll say it again. Zdeno Chara may not be a Bruin after all this upcoming season. This time will tell. All right, it hasn't been underwhelming so far, but they're on track to they were on track to win the President's Trophy before they shut down in March. So they obviously have a good hockey left. They have a lot of good hockey left in this era. But again, they have a lot. Their team's getting older, and like I said, Pasternak and Marchand are likely going to be out for the start of the season this year. They're recovering from surgeries, and they're older. It's going to take more time for them to recoup. So you need these guys, and the fact that you signed Craig Smith to begin with will help out. You got McAvoy as well. But they could definitely start slow, this Boston Bruins, when it comes to the upcoming season with a weakened lineup. Now, again, the Hurricanes, everything's okay. I kind of wish they got after better goaltending. Mrazek and, Reimer, for now, they're going to have to roll with. But Fleury, I'm surprised. Maybe Fleury could be out there, even though, Korpisalo's name has been trending deeply with the Hurricanes right now. So could Korpisalo be in there for the cards for the Hurricanes? We'll see. But don't worry about it yet. And the Dallas Stars, listen, don't worry about that. I mean, they had a phenomenal. I mean, Dallas had a phenomenal, very phenomenal postseason. They went to the Stanley Cup Finals. It was a great run, and it's just the Stars right now are in a bind. Okay, the Avalanche are adding, and Dallas is not. So to improve and beat Colorado again for a second time, they're going to have to add somebody. Okay, the Avalanche are primed for a cup this upcoming season. All right, you got Khudobin back. That's huge. That's exactly what you need. So time will tell. But the Stars they will use their remaining $6.6 million on Gurianov and Hintz, unless Dallas sheds more salary somewhere. Maybe they could afford to bridge deals for both, and time will tell. So just don't worry about it yet. Now, panic teams, and my team is on here, but the New York Islanders and the Philadelphia Flyers. Okay, this is difficult. The Islanders, just like the Stars, are painted into the corner on paper heading into the offseason. And there's a bunch of restricted free agents with new contracts. Isles basically having to devote their attention to top-line center Matthew Barzal. They have to sign him, but they were at risk of losing at least one of their two important restricted free agent defensemen, Devin Tays and Ryan Pollock, to an offer sheet. Now, Lou himself opted to trade the underrated he traded Tays to Colorado. That's a big acquisition for the Avalanche, and this is another issue now for the Islanders in order to keep Barzal. Now, $8.9 million in cap left for the Islanders. They haven't re-signed Barzal or Pollock yet, and they both deserve at least, I'd say $12 to $15 million per season combined. So, obviously you give a little bit more to Barzal. He had a great postseason. We saw that. Now, they got Corey Schneider in net. Okay, he will be the number 3 netminder, or at least the number 2, if the Isles decide they want Sorokin, who he's in the NHL for the Islanders affiliate team, and again, Schneider's going to get the back seat of this, if anything, if he does were to come up. So, I think the Islanders' move right now is to sign your top spots, man. You lost Tays, you don't want to lose anybody else. Sign Barzal and sign Pulock. That's what you need. Simple as that. And they also have rumblings of Patrick Laine. But again, they're not going to sign Laine, okay? I don't even think the Islanders have the money to sign Laine, okay? Especially if you want Barzal, you're not going to get Laine. Simple as that. Sorry, Islanders fans. The Flyers, okay? What can I say? Under AV himself for the first year, they went from a really awful defensive team to a pretty good one. Provorov recaptured his identity. He was as a future Norris Trophy threat. Carter Hart, my man, grew into the role of number 1 netminder. We know that he's going to be the netminder for the Flyers for the next 10 to 15 years. Too easy. Absolutely easy here. But this offseason started with surprising retirement of veteran Matt Niskanen. It's a shame. And then we brought in Eric Gustafsson as a replacement to be a better fit for Philly somehow. It doesn't really offset Niskanen's defense. I really truly think that Gustafsson is kind of like Gostisbehere in a way. So it doesn't really help us, maybe, but they could have done better. And, of course, the leadership of Niskanen and influence on the younger players, it's going to be tough. It's tough. And the Flyers haven't added anyone to the forward group at all. We need a shooter. We desperately need a shooter. And as much as I do love the Flyers to go back to the playoffs and have a deep run, this offseason has been pretty darn disappointing for us. And what we could be a genuine contender this season, they need more to add. They need a shooter. Get Laine. Maybe potentially get a trade for Johnny Gaudreau as well. But again, we'll see what happens. This is a typical Philly team. When it comes to off seasons, we don't bite the bullet. You got to do it. You got to blow the bomb up, man. You got to do it. Go after somebody. So there you have it. But unfortunately, I'm out of time. I did miss the topic. The updated 2020 NHL free agency and who signed where. I will talk about that tomorrow on my Tomorrow Show. So I will do that. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope everyone has a phenomenal Tuesday. Enjoy your day. Stay safe. Wear your mask. And I will be back tomorrow. Same time, same place, 12 o'clock Eastern Time, 9 a.m. Western Time. And we'll be back at it. I'll talk to you guys then. See you guys. Bye.